Hey everybody, welcome back. Northern Lion playing some chess. We're going to play some 10-minute chess today, which is scary for me because we're at that 14 to 1500 range. I'm willing to take on this. I don't mind the take. We don't need to move as fast. Remember that. We don't need to move as fast as you might otherwise. Oh, careful. You don't need to move as fast as you would otherwise consider. We're going to let this happen. If you want to let this happen, let's let this happen. This seems familiar to me. The Scandinavian defense, the Mises Kotrak variation. Very familiar with it. I don't really know what happens next. I feel like a lot of pressure gets stacked up here. But now, because we've blocked the incoming potential threat from the queen, we actually have put some pressure on them here. I wonder if they will eventually think about castling queenside here. It seems like someone who kind of knows what they're doing. Let's put it that way. I'm not saying it to flex like we're smarter. I'm not saying to sandbag like we're weaker. All I'm saying is that right off the bat, this seems like somebody who came at us with like a little bit of what I would consider an unusual opening. And then they'll probably castle queenside, is my expectation. Do I like where we stand here? I don't dislike it. I would consider us a little bit more well-developed, quite frankly. I think one of the dreams for us, this is like a long-term thing. I actually love that, for the record. Is like I want to move this knight off, and then I want to be able to put our bishop here. We can't do it just yet. So I think they're going to try to push our king side. They're going to develop this. Okay, so I basically, they couldn't push this for reasons that made sense to me a minute ago, but don't make sense to me any longer. Here's what I think we do. Let's put some pressure on. This way, this pawn is threatened. Let's see what they want to do about that. We would love to move bishop here, but it requires the removal of this knight first. Kind of had a feeling something like that might be in play. We don't need the castle yet. We could. And to be honest, it's bizarre, but I think I kind of like the castle. I also kind of like I think I kind of like the hyper-aggressive play. Let's start here. And then the ball's in their court. This might be a blunder, but it's going to move the needle one way or the other. Basically, my thinking is after this, I can castle, and my rook will already have access to like the F column, which is something that's kind of, the more Fs you see in the column in Twitch chat, the more likely you just lost. But having your rook developed along the F column, now we're talking. Usually, you got to pay good money for that. Instead, I'm kind of feeling like we're in a decent spot here early. I don't have any analysis to back that up. It's just how it feels to me. I feel like my opponent has been booted out of the... Oh, they're back. Okay. Interesting. So they just fell back. We don't push the issue on this one. What the heck is... servers are having some serious trouble. Honestly, I think I kind of like the castle. And then if you take, I take with the knight. And we put pressure on the queen. Maybe get a discovered attack there in the future. We could push, but then you just take. We can't castle. We could take, then you take. But I don't like that situation as much, honestly. I would rather have this pawn be on an island over here instead of connected to these two. So I think I actually like the castle here. And if I'm mistaken, then I'm mistaken. It does create a huge vulnerability right along this for our king. There's no denying that. This knight is like... Both the enemy knight and the enemy bishop are completely trapped. That's not to say it's going to be like that forever, but... I feel like it's a pretty terrible situation for now. And they're going to castle kingside for certain. So something that I actually really like is maybe like, we have to be careful about the way that we handle it, but I kind of like this move right here. I want to see how they approach it. It creates an extra little area here where we can start to... yes, okay. I knew that I had a feeling that was going to happen. We would like to do this, honestly. And then we have enough support here to actually continue maintaining some control over this part of the board. We want our knight to finish here. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. If you take, I take. You take. I mean, you don't want to do that. Let's just be honest. I think I actually like this. And this will seem strange, but we don't want to trade the knight for the bishop. The reasoning is that the bishop right now is completely useless. So the enemy side, on the king side, I wish I could like click drag highlight. It's completely locked down. This can't go anywhere because it's trapped by this. This can only go here, which doesn't do anything. The knight literally cannot move. So I think we've done a really good job of immobilizing the enemy pieces. The next step for us, I think, is going to be starting to push our pawns on the queen side. Because they really, I mean, I would say we're in an awesome position right now. Genuinely like a fantastic position. What we need to start doing is breaking down the king's side, the castle side over here. I don't know what they're going to do. They're probably going to try to do the same thing to me. Which makes a whole lot of sense because they need to free up those pieces. So if we could stop them from doing that, I'm also pretty stoked. And this knight is actually pretty good. This is a monumental move, without a doubt. I think we want to start aggressive. We want to force their hand. I fully expect something along these lines to come to pass because they need to develop this piece especially. We want to close that up though. I like our position right now without a doubt. This is a sore spot for us. Sorry, the knight to here is a sore spot for us. But in its own way, them developing their knight to here is actually okay because it pulls pressure off of like the squares in this region right here where maybe we can focus an attack. And they do have to be concerned, like it's not likely to happen at this rating, but if somehow we got our queen here and this knight was gone, we're basically threatening mate in one by moving our queen from here to here. So I think we have a lot of stuff about the situation that we would like right now. And I'm just going to be honest with you, it's a move I didn't really see coming. So we're gonna double down. And we're going to put our knight here and see how they want to tackle this now. The great thing about this is even if our knight gets in too deep, we really can do whatever we want with it because we can just swap it here. Like if we have to, we can just trade for the bishop. It wouldn't be a good trade because that bishop is worth like less than nothing right now. But it would at least allow us to not face catastrophic demise, I suppose. So I like this a lot right now. I like where we stand. They're really, in my opinion, I was just going to say, their only move is to start getting these pieces out here. So I think we should find a way to support... I have to think. This is where 10-minute chess and 5-minute chess have a big difference. Like we can move knight here, but to what purpose, you know? To what end? I know you're going to push. Okay, so are you going to push like this or are you going to push like this? Either way, we're going to try to get in there to stop you, but your bishop's going to get here, which is not what I want to see. I think we let you push here. And I'm actually going to continue to put some pressure on this side. I'm going to try to race you right now. So we knew this was a possibility. I want to keep the pressure on you from this capacity. We've lost some of the advantage we just had. But I still think we've got a good thing going on here. But we are playing against somebody who's not like, they're not a bad player. So we would expect some danger in our future. Here's a question for you. Are we willing to give up a pawn? Can we get nuts for just a second here? Let me think, okay? I move here. You take. I take. What do you do after that? I move here. You take. I take. You got to move your queen. It goes somewhere. It's not okay. What if you don't take? I move here. You know what? I think I just move here. I think that's the first stage of this. This is still protected, thankfully. Let's see. Because here's my thinking now. We don't have a whole lot of time. If they take, I take. Let's say they move their queen here. Okay. This gives us check. Check's not necessarily worth that much, but it forces their king to move here temporarily. We can follow up with that, and then they would move here. I don't know what we get out of that yet. And I'm kind of starting to go a little cross-eyed, but I definitely feel like it puts the ball in my court. Interesting. Okay, an interesting move. Ooh. How about that? So what are you going to try to do? I still don't have an answer. Maybe you're going to do this. If that's the case, we can stall slightly. We don't have a ton of time. You know, you might want to cap this, but we don't have a ton of time. We can threaten mate really easily. Not really easily, kind of easily. Sorry, I don't have time to focus on all this. I think I need to prevent your... Well, you know what? Let's... Because you're probably going to take... No, you won't take with the queen. Let's take. Let's open this son of a gun up. Shall we? That was a weird play. I can't help but feel like that was like mega blunder territory, because they can't go here because my knight's protecting it. So we're going to get a free, maybe not a free queen, now that I think about it, but... Okay, so it wasn't as free as I thought it was. Let's not call it a blunder just yet, but it wasn't a free queen. Let's take him back. I mean, this feels like a huge... The misclicks! The misclicks of the century, dude. That hurts. To have it all start to unwind due to a misclick of the mouse button. I mean, that's kind of like your guaranteed move here. We definitely don't just get a queen. Let me put it that way. Let's start busting this structure down. Let's put the system on trial. We've only got 2 minutes left. They've got 4 minutes left. So we obviously have some concerns. I still like where we stand. I think this is really good, because now we actually have the rook protecting our queen here. Oh, but you can cap me. I wasn't even paying attention to the possibility of that. But we did get something, maybe? I don't know. Time's tight. Are we up by anything? No, we're like tied, right? Do not go here. That's my note to self. Do not go here. Okay, we got very limited time left. Let's cap. Let's get funky. Things are gonna have to start getting funky, and I'm not talking about Funky Kong. Yeah, I should have taken that. You're right. That's a good point. That's a good point, dude. I don't want you to fork me, please. I don't want you to fork me. I don't need you to fork me. So why this? I wanted to protect against this from his knight. That's still, I mean, knight, amazing. But I don't mind losing the bishop, quite frankly. Let's put some threat on his name. And we got a minute left. Like, we gotta, when we think we have decent moves, we gotta make those decent moves. So we're up by a pawn. He does have a bishop to my knight. Previously, this bishop was nothing. Now the bishop is slightly more than nothing, I should say. He can't capture this. If he captures this, knight to c5 equals a check that he cannot move his queen to get out of. We capture his queen for free. Ooh, I think I've been wrong before. I've miscalculated on this before. No, I did miscalculate. Oh, dude. He outthought me. I didn't realize that this was a discovered attack on the... You got me. I got to resign that one. Well played, honestly. Well played. That hurt because I really thought we were in a good spot, but I got overwhelmed. I got overwhelmed at the end of it. We misplayed the clock a little bit, but it was a fun one nonetheless. Okay, I want to look at the report here. Oh, dude, until this, like, this is where we can start focusing. Until this, we were so far ahead, and then what went wrong? Let's see. Let's look at our report, okay? That's your blunder. That hurts so much. We were literally up by 4 points expected value, and then I fell into my own trap. And Adobe Creative Cloud has an update. What was the right move there? Adobe. I can wait, but the right move there was not that. It was knight to here. How does that work? Knight to here. You're in check. Am I insane to think that you just get captured? Queen takes. Then queen to e4 check. Okay. Followed by queen to c6. Followed by rook to a7 check. Ah, and then when you're forced to capture, we take your queen. Okay. That, you know what? Fair enough. There were many, many blunders at the end of that game, but the start of that game was pretty good. Yes, I will leave this site. That's okay. That hurt, but also fair enough. You know, we lost to somebody who honestly, they beat us at our own game. What was our... Actually, let's look at analysis again. I want to see my overall game score. 52. That's pretty bad. It's pretty not good. But it was fun nonetheless. Okay, let's get one more in here. New 10-minute game, please. Against Pudgy Budgy from the United Kingdom. Okay. Immediate... What the... I don't know what this opening is. The perk defense, small center defense. I will say, I feel like we're not playing chess against one another right now. We're just playing chess at the same time. I don't know if this is the right move at all. But let's force him off book. How does that sound to you? Sounds good to me. All right, so yellow bishop, the white bishop is no good. Actually, both of our bishops are no good. We would love to swap them for knights. Dude, let's get funky. I'm off script. He's like, what the heck is this? I don't want you to recite from your book. I want you to play me tete-a-tete. So let's throw some funky moves in. I do expect this, at which point I would be content to threaten. Very interesting. Very interesting move. I mean, honestly, I like that. He's forced to capture this way, which leaves a very good open spot there. It's not easy to get to. I'd like to get here as well, but it's also hard. I mean, this is a very strange run. There's no doubt about that. Here's the thing. You can't capture this or I take your rook. So how do you feel about this one? Honestly, I will capture your knight because I feel like our bishops are straight up trash right now. So this is like, it's a big win in my world. I don't love this pawn structure, but I like it more than that. And so where's this knight going next? Probably like here. That's all right. We can We can threaten. Well, I don't know. We can't really threaten. We don't, well, the point is we have a lot of time. There's no need to rush. I would really love to get this knight in here. I think that's my next play. And if you want to go like here and then threaten the bishop, I'd be content. I think knights are more valuable right now. Maybe not on this side. But I feel like whatever your plan was, it's kind of it's fallen apart a little bit. I hope. Maybe that's a little presumptuous. I don't know. Maybe. So, I mean, here's the thing. I really look at this as like we have a choice between this, which is not great, or we just swap you. And I don't mind the swap here. I don't mind the swap at all. Now, I see that you've got a threat here. I've been known to leave that pawn hanging. I'm just going to level with you. But I want to run through a line in my head while we got time. The line looks like this. I do that. He does this. What do I do then? I come up here for check. He's not going to do queen back because we get a free rook. So he's forced to move his king and screw up his castle. And his queen is kind of overcommitted down here. If you believe that that's a thing. I'm willing to force him to make the right move. Okay, so that's not the way he saw it. Let's put him in check anyway. He clearly wants the castle king side. If I can disrupt that momentum, I would be pleased. Because now he can't castle. That's not necessarily a huge gain, but there's something to like about it. Now what happens next? We stack up a lot of pressure here. We start to try to erode this file. This bishop sucks, for the record. Is trash. But we could, in theory, maybe work it back. Maybe get a discovered attack at some point. But, you know, it's a long game. Let's put it that way. Let's see how he wants to do this. It's getting more complicated, that's for sure. I would definitely say I have an advantage right now. We kind of had a feeling this was coming. I think the next step is honestly try to start working your knight into the game. Get it like here and then here maybe. This also has an advantage I didn't consider. This knight being here covers this spot, just in the event that we leave this exposed somehow. Like, this is a very common, like, accidental mate situation. I like where we stand. Let's force his hand. And then as he moves this knight away, like, we can also start to maybe pushing these pawns up and just try to keep the attack up. We have a better space control right now, I think. I've been known to make the occasional mistake in my gameplay. So the way I honestly think about this now is that here's my line, okay? This involves him doing nothing, so hopefully that's how he chooses to play it. If let's say he doesn't move his king or he doesn't reinforce it, okay, so he had to do something along the lines. Here's my thinking though. What if we take? He takes. Maybe with this one. We take. I'm going cross-eyed. Take, check, take. Is that good? I feel like we get a pawn out of it. That's not good enough, right? I don't feel like it's good enough. Very interesting, huh? On the other hand, hear me out. Let's do it. Let me run through it one more time. Take. What if then we did check, take? The only reason I don't like it is because then it forces like another pressure point here. I'd rather just swap completely. Let's see. Let's see how he reacts. So the linchpin of this plan is this fork right here. And then the secondary thing, and this is the scary part, I'm really putting a lot of faith in myself to leverage our current advantage of 2 pawns to the end game. Because otherwise we're evenly matched. So 2 pawns and a really nice advanced position should be better. But am I skilled enough to reliably navigate it to its exit? That's the trick. Never forget, by the way, that he wanted to play this defense. I didn't force him into this defense. Interesting. Very interesting. This is still covered, by the way, for now. But it might not be forever, so it's an interesting setup. He's forced to go here or here. Here or here. Or there. I didn't even consider there. That's where you are. You're there. So I think he might try to push this. That's interesting. So he didn't play into my plan, which personally I would rather he did. We got some serious threats, though. The problem is, what if he does, like, he's not going to do that. And he's not going to do this. And he's not going to do this. So he would probably try to push this. What does that do? That leaves me in a bad spot where he can put me in checkmate. I would love for him to trade his knight for my bishop right now. Yeah, I don't mind it, I think. I genuinely don't mind it. I think I should let it happen. I do. But what do we do instead? We have the time to consider this. We definitely want to push this issue. Like, that's a gimme. The thing is, okay, so if he goes here, even if he caps me, we take with this pawn. But then that would... Okay, I see your complaint. I do see your complaint. We could always just do that. But then if he is able to put pressure on us again... No, because then he would capture this piece. Okay, so I see the concern. I do. I actually don't like this position as much as I originally thought that I did. Here's what I do like. If we go here and then force his hand and then go back. No, it's not great. I think that he actually made a very good move here. Here's what if we go here? If we go here, he'll go here. Then we go back. What, can we put him in a position where he doesn't want to move the knight? I don't love it. I don't love the situation. I think we're wasting too much time as well. Here's what I like, okay? It's very cowardly. I did just take 2.5 minutes to come up with this move as well. I actually think that he's in a better position now. We're really going to try to force the swap. We're up by 1 pawn. His pawn structure is a little better, but we're up by 1. You would probably, if you didn't look at the position, you would take my stats over his right now. In the position, I don't know. I don't know. It's tough, especially with the clock situation. So what did I like about this? Well, I actually like this. And then he's thinking, like, oh, if I take this, he takes that, it's mate. Well, it's not mate. Well, yeah, no, it would be mate. But what I'm actually going to do is capture it with the pawn, which would then be defended. But it creates not an amazing situation for me. No doubt about that. We can now just capture. Like, we could now just trade. I don't see a better move, for sure. We kind of have to, and we have to go a little faster now, unfortunately. So what's he going to do with this? He's going to capture this piece right here, which is obviously not good. So we'll put some defense on that. Now, the problem for sure, that would be mate if I... Right, okay. So you know what? Fair enough. Fair play to you, sir. You got the piece. Now you would definitely take his position. But he has to do something with the knight. My prediction... He's got a lot of strong moves. That's fine, I think. This is fine. This is fine because it threatens our knight. What would we do with our knight? I don't really know, to be honest. Okay, that was unexpected. And I actually think that might have been a bit of a mistake because it gets the check, but it also puts his knight in a bit of a spicier position. But maybe I don't know what I'm talking about is the other alternative. I have to look at this idea. What if we go here and then somehow go here? There is... I mean, it's not mate because he just goes here. Well, then is there a point? Good question. What if we just start pushing the issue? I mean, we don't have a lot of time to think about it, unfortunately. You got me? F. Honestly, I'm embarrassed of what the analysis is going to look like here. I'm turning a little red. So now I got a new strategy. It's called psyops. What's my psyop strategy? We're going to try to bait him into moving so quickly that he doesn't even know what's happening. Mission extremely failed so far. Yeah, mission like highly failed. Mission bad is what I was... This is a resign scenario. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong. It's a good game. I'll say good game to you. Show me the analysis. Because I think we kind of threw one away there. That hurts me. Wait, put me back in the 1200s, dude. 1400 is making me feel like an intellectual fool. Looks like that game slipped through your fingers. So where did it fall apart here? Let's learn something. We're embarrassed. We're upset. Let's learn something. Okay, so they played. Were they playing the French defense on this? No, the Perk defense. Okay. So it's a book move. Best move. Excellent move. We can live with this. As of right now, we can live with this. Everything's fine. So it doesn't start to get funky until this one. Okay, that was an inaccuracy. Fair enough. Where did it go really off the rails, though? So we're in this position. We're feeling good. The game still likes us here. It says we're up by 3. Okay, so what happened next? This was not a good move. We should have pinned the bishop. I got scared of this. This was the move we took so much time on, I think. So we should have moved down instead. Fair enough. That was a great move. Okay. This was many blunders in a row. Rook to A8 was still the best. Fair enough. So our endgame was really bad. G5 was an inaccuracy. That was a good move, though. We're still in it. Where are we at here? They've got us roughly even. That was a good move. That was the best move. We couldn't capture because of this, right? H3 is an inaccuracy. H4 is best. I had no idea. What happened next? Check. Good move. Great move. Blunder. That was really where it fell apart, which is not a surprise. Well, I'm embarrassed with my performance today, but there's always tomorrow, and as our rating decays, it only gets better. The road to 1,500 is on. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. The support on the chess series has been amazing so far. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you next time. See ya!